Good morning. The meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. The meeting is being held at the office of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North Third Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, February 11, 2026, and the time is 9 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Rousseau,
Here.
Commissioner Leone,
Here.
Commissioner Romick,
Here.
Commissioner Guidry,
Here.
Commissioner Frazier.
Here.
5 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business, we'll move on to the approval of minutes.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes from January 28th. There were 2 meetings, one being the rules adoption that I'm making a motion on, as well as the regularly scheduled meeting.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes from both the open meeting and the rules and regulations hearing. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 1,445 change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 1,387 and place 58 in pending status. Staff requests approval of these change orders.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the 1,387 change orders and place 57 in pending status for reasons given by staff.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 58 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve all 58. Staff requests approval of the prior pending change orders.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the 58 prior pending change orders as reviewed and presented by staff.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Chandrika Banks on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 13 tax sale cancellations, 1 in Lafourche Parish, 3 in East Baton Rouge Parish, and 9 in St. Helena. Staff requests approval of 13 tax sale cancellations.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the 13 tax sale cancellations.
We have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion is adopted. We'll move on to appeals. Mr. Hoffman.
If you'll be testifying in any of the appeal hearings this morning, I'll have you stand up at your chair. I'll administer an oath. I'll indicate to you individually to affirm the oath, and I'll have you state your name. Appraisers, I'll get you next. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all may have a seat. Appraisers, if you will unmute. Same exercise. Issue an oath to you. I'll indicate to you individually to affirm the oath. Is Sandy with us? Okay, you're mute.
You have to unmute Sandy.
There we go. All right. Appraisers, please raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Reed.
Reed Juwel, I do.
Paul.
Paul Bennett, I do.
Josh.
Joshua Laverne, I do.
Mark.
Mark Gillespie.
Mark, you cut out.
Can you hear me? Mark Gillespie, I do.
Thank you, Mark. All right, Sandy.
Did you hear it that time? Okay.
Yep, all good.
Okay,
Sandy.
thank you.
I do.
Mark A.
Mark A. Palmer, I do.
And Luke.
Luke Brewer, I do.
Great. Thank you, appraisers. Very good, Chairman.
Call the first appeal.
Okay, the first appeal we'll take up this morning is the appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams and Orleans Parish Board of Review versus Mr. Jet Mestroff, docket number 25221777029.
Hi, I'm Jeff Mestroff.
Want to go ahead? Yeah, assessors appeal, so they'll go first. David?
Good morning, David Mejia, Orleans Parish Assessor's Office. The property at 6500 Oakland is a an appeal that's been heard 2 consecutive years, back in 24 and 25. The Board of Review this year, overrode the tax commission decision, the ruling of the tax commission. So we subsequently filed an appeal and are just requesting the 2 prior year values be affirmed again, which were valued at $621,000 by the commission.
Thank you, David. We'll hear from the taxpayer.
The evidence that's been presented to you, the assessor used an appraisal that has a lot of defects in it. Factual errors in comparable sales. They're using comp 5. They state that it sold for $1,725,000. However, on the assessor's own website, it sold for $1,325,000. This was prior to the appraiser's assessment. It's a $400,000 increase. I'm claiming there has been arbitrary adjustments and weightings. $800,000, $824,000 on one, $824,000 on another. At our meeting last year, the LTC's appraiser and the assessor's appraiser both agreed that comp number 4 was the most comparable to my property, under oath. Yet, the LTC's appraiser took that into account, but the assessor's appraiser gave it 0 weighting because it had a value that would have had my property worth $258,000. So he just threw it out arbitrarily. No, in the assessor's appraisal, no adjustment was made for commercial encroachment, noise, vibration, and air pollution, all of which are subjective and very hard to refute. I imagine that assessor likes, or that appraiser likes diesel at 24 hours a day. Carbon monoxide from the exhausts, noise and vibration from I-10. This appraisal said under oath that the same house sitting on the 10th fairway of a golf course has the same value as same house sitting next to I-10. No adjustments made, no adjustments necessary. The most egregious error made by this assessment is against LTC's own policy. All 6 comps that this assessor this appraiser used for the assessor are recent sales. That is defined as sales chasing. It's against LTC policy. It's been codified in the Louisiana Administrative Code, Title 61, Volume 213. Paragraph D, sales chasing and sales listing chasing is expressly prohibited. It's not a subjective opinion. It is in his report, easily verified from the assessor's own website. It should be summarily thrown out, and that's the only evidence they're using to refute the BOR's valuation and your own assessor's valuation. Sales chasing is so abhorrent that it was upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court that in a 1989 ruling, the U.S. Supreme Court said that the use of sales chasing practice violated the U.S. Constitution, namely the 14th Amendment, Equal Protection Clause under the U.S. I've been in my house 27 years. My neighbor's been in the house 30 years. Across the street, they've been in 20 years, yet he wants to pick comps of the most recent sales within a few years of today. It's a prohibited practice. If that appraisal, if you agree that appraisal should be thrown out, you have no evidence to refute the BORs or your own assessor's valuation. No.
Before y'all get a chance to respond, want to hear from the LTC appraiser? Mark?
Okay. Yes, sir. Mark Gillespie with the Tax Commission. I appraised the subject property, and it's located on a one-street neighborhood right next to the interstate, and the sales that I used were significant, and although the size and living area of the sales are much larger than the subject, they're certainly deemed appropriate and comparable and relevant due to their location and their external obsolescence that they share with the subject. Now, significant adjustments were required. However, I really feel that these sales were the most appropriate for the report. After all adjustments, I determined that the market value, fair market value of the subject is $350,000.
Mark, did anything drastically change from your appraisal from last year?
No, sir. I spoke with Mr. Mextroth, and the condition of the property is basically the same.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
City of New Orleans, any comments?
One brief comment, sales chasing is when you value a property at what it's sold at. Sales comparison, when you're completing an appraisal, you use market sales. Just, I believe, the accusation of sales chasing is not accurate here. I think the definition does not meet.
Any other comment from the taxpayer?
According to Grok, ChatGPT, GPT, and Gemini, using all 6 comps as recent sales instead of using comps that have been there on the assessor's book for a long, is in fact sales chasing. We can go.
We're not going to debate the definition of sales chasing.
Okay.
So stick to the appeal. Anything else you'd like to add on your appeal?
No.
Any questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion. I'm going to stick with the 621,000 total value. That'd be a land value of 258,900, an improvement value of 362,100, with a total value of 621,000.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, the next appeal we'll take up is item B on the agenda. It's the appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams versus Timothy E. Fleman and the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-72010.
Since this is the assessor appeal, assessor can go first.
Good morning, once again, David Mejia, Orleans Parish Assessor's Office. This is a similar case where there is a prior ruling by the commission. The ruling in 2025 was set at $1,150,000. The Board of Review overrode the ruling value, and subsequently the assessor appealed, and we're just requesting the 2025 ruling that was ruled at $1,150,000.
Thank you. We'll hear from the taxpayer.
Yes. Good morning. I'm here to ask you to accept the value provided by the Board of Review, which is $102,000, because it's the best and most current evidence of value. The reason that there's been a decline, my property is in the French Quarter. The reason there's been a decline in residential property values there subsequent to the January 1, 2023 valuation date is there's market data showing a 6.3% decrease in the median price per square foot in that area. The key factors here are a substantial decrease in closed sales, a shift towards a buyer's market, and also the impact of higher insurance costs, which are dramatically up, averaging over 4% following Hurricane Ida. Also, there's increased days on the market for recent sales, showing a jump from 33 to 51 days year over year, indicating a decrease in buyer demand, forcing sellers to lower prices. The appraiser, and I'm glad that she's done this year over year, has provided the same value, but her current appraisal shows the same valuation date, which is January 1, 2023. She's presenting 3 comparable sales in her appraisal with sale dates of April 14, 2022, August 1, 2022, and January 20, 2023. What I would contend is that the values have substantially decreased since the official valuation date of January 1, 2023. And I would show this chart not for evidence of value, but evidence of trend. And it says for my particular property, the value as of January 2023 was $1.7 million. That as of January 2024, it was $1.4 million, a decrease of $300,000 or 17.6%. Again, not to prove value, but to prove trend. So the only current evidence of a more recent value is what was decided by the Board of Review. In Orleans Parish, they're very familiar with all these circumstances related to the French Quarter and to insurance. And with due respect for Ms. Palmer's work, her comps are much older and her valuation date is older.
Thank you. We'll hear from the LTC appraiser, Marquet.
I appraised the property at $1,110,500 with an undisputed land value of $204,100 and an improvement value of $906,400. And I just wanted to say that the reason the date is the 1/1/2023 is that's considered the reassessment year. So we do everything retrospectively to that date. I did include this time the termite damage which wasn't mentioned in the 2025 decision.
Thank you. Any response from the Orleans Parish Assessor's Office?
No, sir. No response.
Anything else from the taxpayer?
No, sir.
Okay. Any questions from the commission?
Mr. Chair, I have a question for Ms. Palmer. Ms. Palmer, the value that you're citing of the $1,110,000, that's a reduction from where it was in the previous year because of termite damage? Is that what you're saying?
I had that last time and the ruling was a little bit higher, but I also included that to, bolster the reason kind of why I used comparables number 1 and number 2 last time. They were, if you look at my report, that cell number 3, it was, it had a little bit better, I think, condition and site size. Well, not the site size. I'm sorry. I have a migraine and it's hard for me to see right now. That cell number 3 was just kind of overall superior to the cells number 1 and number 2. They were better to identify a range of value. So I kind of took the average of those two for the 1,110,500. And I included the termite damage this time to kind of prove that it is in overall very good condition, not excellent.
Thank you, Ms. Palmer.
You're
Any other
welcome.
questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to, considering the LTC's position, and it's not that far off from the parish assessor's request, and I guess understanding some of what the taxpayer is saying, I am making a motion for the LTC staff appraisal of $1,110,500. That's $204,100 for land, $906,400 for improvement.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any ob-
I'm gonna stand on the parish's value of 1.15 million. The parish appraisal's at 1.3. The LTC's appraisal's at 1.10. In my mind, the 1.15's is pretty good. I just lost my whole train of thought. It's a pretty good value based on the two competing appraisals using the income approaches.
So I guess we'll roll call vote this one because we'll have some different votes.
Mr. Chair, I can
Hold on 1
remove,
second.
I'll remove my motion if that facilitates.
Okay, taxpayer, you want to offer a comment?
Did the commissioner refer to a new appraisal provided by the city? Because I don't have that. You're talking about the one that was done last year. All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So Mr. Romick has withdrawn his motion. Commissioner Romick, is there a new motion?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, for the total value to be 1.15, 150,000 total value. That's a land value of 204,100, an improvement value of 945,900.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Is there any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
All right, we'll move on to item A on the agenda. It's the appeal of Errol G. Williams versus Ms. Barbara in the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-72009.
Good morning,
Rollins.
Greg Miller for the Orleans Parish Assessor's Office. We're talking about the property at 7034 Canal Boulevard. Originally in 2024, we made a settlement with the taxpayer for value of $463,900. That was reaffirmed by the LTC in 2025 during appeal. Subsequently, the Board of Review has reduced the value to $436,000. We're asking the LTC to uphold or affirm the value that was previously upheld in the 2024-25 period of $463,900.
Thank you, Greg. Sandy, the LTC.
Okay, I appraised the property at $463,900. And the lot value was $198,000 and an improvement value of $265,000.
It's 265,900 is what you said.
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I call for a motion to accept the value of $463,900, which is $198,000 land, $265,900 improvements, total of $463,900.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
The next appeal we'll take up on the agenda is item C. Is the appeal of Joseph Casanova Irrevocable Trust versus Assessor L.G. Williams in the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-72015.
City of New Orleans.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yep, good morning once again, David Mejia here again. This is a similar case. Well, we didn't appeal this, the taxpayer appealed this one. It's a condominium located at 244 Juwel, unit number C. In 24, this was appealed and the tax commission ruled this at the lowest value of all independent appraisals, which was the existing value of $158,300. The tax commission's appraisal was slightly higher and our independent analysis was also slightly higher. That $158,300 is carried on, and we're just requesting that value be affirmed again.
Thank you, David. We'll hear from Paul, LTC appraiser.
Paul Bennett, Louisiana Tax Commission. I appraised the property at 244 Jewel Street, Unit C, with a stated land value of $42,400 and improvement value of $117,100 for a total of $159,500.
Questions from the commission? None. Do I hear a motion? Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Okay, next we have the appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams versus Chateau Sauvage LLC and the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-73026.
We'll hear from Assessor's office.
Yes, this was 73026. Yep. Good morning again, Commissioners. Greg Miller with the Orleans Parish Assessors Office. Looking at the property at 20,039 Victory Road. Originally, we had a settlement in 2024 for a value of $200,000. Subsequently, the Board of Review this year had lowered the value to $87,600 based on an appraisal that had a couple major flaws in it, which were, I believe, pointed out in the previous LTC hearings. We're asking that the original ruling of $200,000 be upheld.
Thank you. We'll hear from Josh.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Joshua Laverne, LTC appraiser. Like Mr. Miller said, this is a repeat appeal that already has a ruling. Spoke to the taxpayer, and the taxpayer said that there was no change to the property since my last inspection. So my appraisal was the same at $90,000.
Thank you, Josh. Questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the Parish Assessor's Office of total of 200,000, 5,600 land, 194,400 for improvements.
We have a motion. Any discussion on the motion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Next, we have a dual appeal. It's dual appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams and the Orleans Parish, appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams versus Guy G. Gonzalez in the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-76009, and the appeal of Guy G. Gonzalez versus Assessor L.G. Williams in the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-76019.
Orleans Assessor's Office.
Good morning, once again, David Mejia here again. The property at 1838 Moringo, this is also a repeat. The recent ruling by the Tax Commission in 2025 was $815,000. The Board of Review this year kind of went against their typical historical of not overriding Tax Commission decisions. They overrode several decisions this year, and most of these that we're hearing today are that case. And this is a similar case where they overrode the decision that was 815. They lowered it to 780, and we're just requesting the prior value of 815, which was ruled upon just last year for this property.
Okay, thank you. We'll hear from the LTC appraiser, Luke.
Good morning, Luke Brewer with the Louisiana Tax Commission. Yes, this was a repeat on 1838 Moringo Street. I tried to reach out to the appellants, but was unable to get from them. So I believe everything is still the same. The only main difference in my appraisal report this time versus last time is there's no land sales analysis. My findings are the same. I have a value of $812,000, which is $217,500 in land, $594,500 improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I call for a motion to set the value of $815,000, which is $217,500 land, $597,500, and a total of $815,000.
We have a motion. Any discussion on the motion? Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Please note for the agenda that appeal of 1844 LLC versus Assessor L.G. Williams and the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 2522171-043 through 046 has been continued. So we'll move on to item H, the appeal of Assessor L.G. Williams versus Kathleen McCray and the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 25221-76005.
We'll hear from the assessor's office.
Good morning, Lisa Ross, Orleans Parish Assessor's Office. This appeal is for 4121 Magazine, which is also a repeat, but from 2024, with docket number 2322176-044. That docket was heard on December 4th, 2024, with a decision for a total value of $1,114,100. And we're just, it was not appealed for 25. We did change orders to uphold that value for 2025. So that value carried forward for 2025 and 2026. But it was appealed again for 2026. And we're just asking that you uphold the ruling that was rendered on December 4th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. We'll hear from the LTC appraiser. Reed?
Reed Juwel, Louisiana Tax Commission. I have personally appraised the property located at 4121 Magazine Street. Came up with a value, the land value of 202,500, an improvement value of 672,500, with a total value of $875,000.
Questions from the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the parish assessor's request to uphold the value at $1,114,100. It's land at 202,500, improvements at 911,600.
We have a motion. Any discussion on the motion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion is adopted.
Thank you.
Any other business to come before the commission this morning? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
The chair call for a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there any discussion? Any objection? Hearing none, motion is adopted. We adjourn.